In today's video, I am going to be breaking down why a lot of teams should be using the 5-out basketball offense. The 5-out is exactly as you basically think it is. There is 5 players on the outside of the three-point line, but not necessarily at all times. And no, this is not an offense that is predicated around shooting threes. While shooting threes do help pull teams out of zones and things like that, you don't necessarily need to have three-point shooters. You just need to have players who are confident enough to be able to take that shot every once in a while to keep defenses honest. But that's the same with every offense anyways. So let's get down, let's check it out, let's see basically why the 5-out offense is one of the better offenses right now to run. But I'm going to start with why you would want to run it. And that is basically you're going to be clearing out the defense from the key, which means that if you have a slasher on your team, if you've got a guy who can get past a defender with one dribble, he's going to be able to get to the rim quite easily, especially if there is a miscommunication on the defensive side and there's no help defense. And if there is help defense, he can kick that ball out, swing, and rotate the defense, and it's going to be messing them up quite well. So let's get down, let's check it out. If you want this super simple basketball offense, the 5-out, make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below. So against a man-to-man defense, as an example, let's say we had player 1 pass to player 2 and player 2 drove to the rim. Well, if that's the case, on help defense and man-to-man, what needs to happen is player 5 should not be playing help. He can be playing the gap and reaching, but in reality, he should be sticking to player 5. Player 4 needs to move over in a man-to-man. Player 3 needs to drop, and player 1 needs to shift over. And essentially what happens here is player 1, red, is going to be guarding 2, 3 is going to be guarding 2, and then player 4 is going to be cutting off the key. Now, ideally, what happens is there's always going to be one person open, because now there's a double team on the ball. So one of the hardest passes to make is this one right here. However, that is the one that is generally wide open if man-to-man defense is ran properly. The reason why it's left open is because that's a very hard pass to make. If there's rotational mistakes, player 3 may be open, and when that pass gets out to player 3, these guys need to X out. Player 2 continues down, or player 4, depending on the coach. And that leaves player 4 open for the three-point shot. There's other issues too. So for example, if player 3 didn't drop, so player 4 is helping out and player 3 didn't drop, well, now that lane is wide open, pass, and layup. Very simple drive kick offense works extremely well against a man. And when it comes to running this, if you can drive kick until there's an open lane to be able to get an open layup, you're going to have a very easy time winning. Very easy time scoring. You could literally run this, if you're running a house league team, for example, you could run this offense all season, and it's one of the hardest to defend. Now, if you're going against the zone, it also works against a zone too. That's the beauty with the 5-out, because now you're stretching out the zone, because now, okay, well, we want to protect the key, but guess what? We also don't want to leave open three-point shooters. So now, if player 2 drives, as an example, this is going to close that gap. He kicks the ball out to player 5. This is rotating the defense. Player 5 drives baseline. That's going to have player 5 red cut that off, and eventually player 4 needs to drop. Player 2 can then fill out. He's the safety. We really want the ball to go to the opposite side. Now, everyone's trying to rotate over, extra pass. Eventually, we could even set a screen, open 3. The faster this ball moves on a drive, kick, swing, and it's not just a drive, kick, swing, you don't have to drive every time the ball is swung. They can swing 1, 2, 3 times, and now you've got open lanes again. We have to remember against zones, every time you pass this imaginary line, it's going to be adding to the chance of being able to score, and much easier. So just by keeping active, by passing in the 5-out and driving, trying to get that ball into the paint and kicking, it makes life really easy. Obviously, your team's going to be running a lot, But this offense is one of the easiest that you can run. And by running this offense, you're going to be killing teams. But you can also run sets out of it as well. So as an example, I call this pin down. I run it with literally every team I've ever coached. And this is ran at the NBA level. This is a simple, super ridiculously simple play. And this gets players open for threes. But also, guess what? By running these pin downs, let's say the defense messed up. They ran over top. They're playing too close. Whatever. Player 2 could cut in. This could be an open layup by player 2. He just has to read his defender and what his defender's doing and gives him an option. Do I cut to the rim or do I cut to the wing? We want to stay unpredictable. We don't want to stick in the same cookie cutter offense every single time. So what I'm trying to say is you could run this offense and run it solely just on basic ball movement, and you're going to be really ridiculously easily just one of the hardest teams to beat. So is the 5-out good for every team? I would say yes, but if you have a team of maybe like tall guys who may not be able to be as fast or handle the ball as well, or maybe not shoot the ball as well, it might not be the best for you. But if you have like one true old school center on your team, that's going to be fine. If you have 2 or 3 old school centers like Shaq's on a starting lineup, this may not be the offense for you because you're not going to be fast enough. But if you have one old school center, you'll be totally fine because you can set up different opportunities for him. And here's an example. Let's say player 5 is the old school center. Well, we could actually do something like this, where now we could have player 4 set that pin down for player 2. Player 2 gets open. After player 2 gets open, player 4 sets that screen yet again. Player 2 attacks the basket. While player 2 is attacking the basket, we can get player 5 set up in the low post. So while all of this is happening, he slowly moves down to the low post. Now, player 2 could easily get that open layup, but what we're trying to do here is draw the help guy. Big man's already in the post. We have a short guy dropping down to a big guy. There's going to be a mismatch. Pass the ball over, layup. Super simple offense to get our big man some easy baskets. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below if you are looking for a very simple offense to be able to run. I hope this video has helped you and your team win more games. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys again in my next video.